Slide na. Basically, nandito na sa slide. Okay?
Oh.
Always make it a point na kumbaga kung
Video
hindi
ko
na
ba?
lang babasahin ninyo if you go through my slides. Okay? So,
Okay.
may chance pa ba kayo bukas?
Opo.
So, give me at least an hour. Tapos na tayo.
Yes.
Okay, bilisan na to.
I need to go home.
I have forwarded na yung lecture ko kahapon kay
Kiss na
Yung
tayo.
mga quiz pa sa natin kasama yung Embryo.
saan? Vision.
Thursday daw.
Coordinator daw.
Ha?
Coordinator.
Doc.
Sino? Pag-i-message mo ko ba? Send ko mamaya hapon sa
Ay, sige po, Doc.
para mabasa natin. Okay, let's go. Start tayo. Propulsion and mixing of food. in
Daan
the
naman ang daan
air.
to.
So, general objectives, hindi ko napapasahin kasi pagkatapos ko nito, baka uuwi na tayo sa sobrang dami. Okay, nilalagay ko ito para meron kayong basis. Paulit-ulit kong sinasabi sa iyo. Para may basis kayo sa pag-review. Actually, give away na yung mga exams ko pag binasa ng inyong objectives. So, basically, this is the entire lecture ko. I'll just give you a copy of it. Now, ingestion of food, starting sa ingestion of food, it's driven by two. Okay? Hunger and appetite. What's the difference? Oh, sabi niya, hunger is parang pareho, ano? Okay, may difference. Something difference. Yung hunger, ito yung gutom, yung gusto mong kumain, regardless of the food that is in front of you. Gutom kayo. Okay? So, yung appetite naman is gutom ka or hindi, pero may pinipili kang food. Okay? So, kumbaga, I have the appetite to eat lobster. Diba? Kahit hindi ka pa lang gutom, gusto mong kumain ng lobster, that's the appetite. Now, mastication is accomplished by the following structures. We have the teeth and the muscle of chewing. So, incisor, about 55 pounds. Pag nag-bite kayo, now, kung gusto nyo naman i-crush yung matitigas na pagkain nyo, you use the molars, so the crushing power is about 200 pounds. And the muscle of chewing is brought about by the following: masseter, temporalis media, and lateral pterygoid. So, innervated by the trigeminal nerve. Alam na ninyo yan. Accessory muscles, of course, we have the digestive, mylohyoid, and geniohyoid. So, chewing reflex. Ang chewing ba ay commanded nyo ang paghuya or it is basically an automatic function?
Command.
Nasubukan na ninyo nagsubo ng 3-4 na babugang tapos may iniisip kayo napakalalim. Ano naman kayo papa-exam ni Dr. Harris sa akin? Tapos napansin yung ngumunguya kayo, di ba?
Opo.
Tama?
Yes.
So, actually, it is controlled by two. Yung consciousness chewing nyo, and a reflex. So, ito yun. Ito yung kwento niya. Ingestion of food. Pag pumasok yung food, certain receptors are going to be stimulated. So, these are receptors from the mucosa and periodontal ligaments, and it's transmitted to the cranial nerve 5. So, it goes into the brainstem, sa chewing center natin. And then what will happen is that there is going to be a dropping of lower jaw. So this is a reflex. So hindi nyo napapansin ito. So it is brought about by the muscles, lateral pterygoid, digastric, and the mylohyoid. Okay? And then, pag nag-drop ang jaw, muscles are going to be stretched. So yung stretching ng muscles, merong certain parang extend. So once na-stretch yung muscle, mag-settle ng signal sa brainstem through the cranial nerve 5. And then magkakaroon ng rebound contraction ng muscles. And these are the masseter, temporalis, muscles, at saka the pterygoid. So nagsara na naman yung mouth. And then the same process is going to go through again. Kasi merong bolus of food pa rin nasa bibig mo. Unless nasa contest kayo ay hindi na ninyong ninunguya. Napapanood niyo ba yung mukbang na yun, yung mga isang burger yata, lalo na yung isang Korean, yung drumstick, isusubo niya buto na lang matitira, hindi niya na ninunguya, nilulunok niya na. So it defines the principle that I'm going to lecture mamaya. So this process is going to go on and on hanggang fully grinded na yung food. Okay? Ganun lang yun. And then of course, you're going to swallow it. Neural control of mastications, we have the cerebral cortex, the brainstem, the cranial nerves. So it involves cranial nerve 5, 7, and 12. Okay? Nakasulat naman na yung mga details yan. You just read it. And also, we have the glossopharyngeal nerve. This is for the coordination in swallowing. So why do we chew our food? Sige na, okay na yan. Walang maling sagot sa akin. Para matulog. Tama?
Yes.
Ano pa? Meron bang digestion sa mouth?
Yes.
What inside? Okay, nakikita mo na sila. Okay, good. So, break down solid food to smaller pieces. Tapos, it prevents injury to GIT. Sino na dito ang nasubukang lumunok ng isang pandesal na buo? Tapos may palaman pang cheese. Kaya ba? Kaya? Hindi masakit. It will cause an injury, actually. Dahil yung size ng esophagus is only limited. Eh kung yung Big Mac ang isinubo ninyo at gusto nyo lumag yung buo, good luck sa inyo. Okay? So, it prevents GI injury. Okay? So, if you chew your food, you're going to increase the easiness of transit. So, mas madali yung lulukin. At sinin yung iba kung minsan, yung lumalatan ng food, yung konti sa pagkain, nilalagyan pa nila ng tubig para lang mas mabilis sila malunok, right? So, yun ang principle. Paliitin yung mga particles, tapos lubricate it through the saliva para mas facilitated as swallowing. So, also, you have to increase the surface area of the food you're going to eat because enzymes will be only effective if the surface area is bigger. Tama? Sino na yung nasubukan na kumain ng malunggay tapos may bunga na paglabas?
Sakit
Di
naman.
ba? Pag mabilis kayo kumain ng malunggay, tinola, paglabas, malunggay pa rin, di ba? Pag hindi nyo ginuya. Tama? So yung digestive enzyme niyo is not able to apply on that leaf kasi hindi nyo dinurog. Right? So yung takeaway natin ngayon, nuyayin ng gusto ang malunggay. So yung rate of digestion depends on the total surface area. Common sense na yun. So swallowing, we have 3 stages. We have the voluntary, involuntary, and the esophageal phase. So the voluntary phase is up to the soft palate. Bilisan na natin ito. Soft palate. So ito yung movement ng dila at soft palate. Well, it's a conscious na move ito. So mag-create kayo ng ball towards the soft palate para itutulak ng dila palikod papunta sa pharynx. Okay? Once it reaches the pharynx, okay, it becomes automatic. So, sino ang mga dog lover dito? Okay. Pag may sakit yung mga anakis ninyo, paano yung pinahilom ng gamot? Di ba? Sinusundot nyo yung lalamunan nila hanggang sa loob ng looban na hindi nyo man lang makita. Tapos pipigay ng pagkadami-dami, hindi nyo alam kung ma-aspirate yung aso nyo o hindi. With the hope na lulunukin yung aso yung capsules o yung fluid. Tama? So the principle is the same. Lampasan ninyo yung uvula o yung fold dito sa side. Pharyngeal fold. Paglampas doon, it's automatic. Involuntary yan. Lulunukin niya. Pag yung aso binigyan mo ng capsule, tapos niluluwa niya, mapapansin niyo nilalabas ng dila kasama yung hindi kayo nakaabot doon beyond doon sa pharynx. You go beyond the pharynx, lulunukin niya.
Adriel.
So, tinuturuan ko yung naging doctor ng mga
Med.
aso. So, involuntary phase, ito naman, the food is in the posterior mouth, okay? It stimulates the epithelial swallow receptor areas, and then the location of which is sa opening of the pharynx at saka sa tonsillar pillars. So, beyond that, it's going to be an involuntary movement ng pharynx. So the soft palate, what will happen? It's going to be pulled upward para masarahan yung nasopharynx. Nasubukan na ninyo yung nakikipagkwentuhan, kumakain kayo tapos naubo kayo ng konti, may lumalabas na kanin sa inyo. Hindi nagsara. Okay? Yung soft palate.
Soft
So dapat
palate.
nagsasara yan. Kung hindi, hirap na rin kayo sumisimpot para lang mabawi pabalik yung butil ng rice. Tama? At ang mga palatopharyngeal fold, mag-move yan medially. So magdidikit siya medially para mag-create siya ng slit-like opening so that it can actually limit the size of the food that's going to pass through the pharynx. Hindi pwedeng buong pandesal lulunogin, hindi yan papasok because of the limiting factors na ginagawa nito mga structures na to. So both medially opposing each other, the form a slit that will only allow small food particles to pass. Ano to? Vocal cords. Okay, the vocal cords approximates medially. Tapos, makikita nyo slit na. So that's one protective mechanism. Another protective mechanism is once the larynx pulls it's pulled upward and anteriorly by the neck muscles. Okay? So, yung neck muscles ng larynx, ano yung mga yun? Na-review nyo na daw kay Dr. Gina. Suprahyoid, microhyoid, genohyoid, lahat na may hyoid, yun. So it pulls the larynx up. So ang mangyayari doon, yung epiglottis is going to go down. Tatakpan niya yung voice ducts. So that's another protective mechanism para yung food will not pass through the airway. Okay? Pharyngeal sphincter relaxes and then located at upper 3 to 4 cm esophageal muscular wall. So ang nangyayari dyan, it will dilate also the proximal esophagus. So parang nagpe-prepare na siya para mag-pass down yung food. So the nervous initiation of the pharyngeal stage of swallowing brought about by the trigeminal and glossopharyngeal nerve. Deglutition or swallowing center, we have the medulla and pons, and then also the medulla and pons, when you swallow, respiration is impeded or it is ceased. Hindi pwedeng huminga habang lumulunok. Subukin yung uminom ng tubig at saka huminga kayo. Good luck sa inyo. Okay? Aspiration ng bansa. So also we have the motor impulse. We have cranial nerve 5, 9, 10, and 12. Esophageal stage, this is also automatic. Hindi na to voluntarily controlled. So there are two types of peristalsis dito sa esophagus. We have the primary. So ito yung peristalsis that is generated from the oropharynx, from the pharynx down. So ang purpose nito is to propel the food down to the stomach. The secondary naman is sila yung taga-tapos. So may naiwan, itutulak nila pababa hanggang totally empty yung esophagus. Okay? So esophagus, pharyngeal wall, and proximal third, it is striated muscle. Okay? Peristalsis are controlled by the glossopharyngeal at saka vagus. However, yung lower third naman, yung distal third of the esophagus is already a smooth muscle. And it is controlled by the vagus nerve. So, receptive relaxation of the stomach, ang kwento lang nito is like this. Once you swallow, the distal part of the esophagus down to the stomach, magre-relax. Habang bumababa yung food, nagre-relax yung distal. Yung proximal na nagko-contract. So, that's the principle of peristalsis. Yan yung ibig niyang sabihin. Okay? Gastroesophageal sphincter, napag-usapan na natin kahapon. Okay? So, another information lang dito is the valve-like closure, yung distal esophagus. Hindi ko nakwento sa inyo kahapon that pag napuno ang stomach, magkakaroon ng angle ang stomach at saka yung esophagus. That's another form of parang protection for the GERD. So backflow. So nagkakaroon ng acute angle. Kasi kung straight yan at nag-exert ang pasyente, tendency is if it's beyond 30 millimeters mercury, chances are magbabackflow. Pero kung nagkaroon ng acute hunger yan, mas may resistance ngayon yung wall. Okay? So, 3 motor functions of the stomach. Storage, mixing of food, and slow emptying of the stomach contents into the small intestine. So we have the physiological division of the stomach. We have the ora and the cauda. Proximal two-third ang ora, okay, and the distal 1/3 is the caudal. What's the reason for drawing a line dyan? Identifying the physiological division of the stomach. Para alam naman natin ang dahilan, bakit tayo naglilinya dyan. Pwede naman tayo maglinya ng paganon, o kung saan mo gusto ilinya. Bakit sa may incisura? Down. In-emphasize ko yung incisura kahapon. Storage is the proximal and the digestion occurs at the distal 1/3 because it is the most muscular and at the same time it is highly concentrated with hydrochloric acid. Okay? Naintindihan? Oo na lang. Sige. A storage function of the stomach. So, parang yung bumibili kayo ng ice cream, may cone ka, itinapat mo doon sa sundae. Ang mangyayari, yung sundae mag-flow sa gitna. And then yung bumagsak na, mag-stay sa side. Tama? Yung bago, nandun sa gitna palagi. So, same principle with the food. However, when you stop eating, it will be different. Kasi magkakaroon ka ng peristalsis of the stomach. So, yung churning movement ng stomach, talagang maahaluin ka na yun. Walang bago at walang luma. Okay? So, there is also a bago vagal reflex. Pag nagkaroon ng once na kumain kayo and the body felt na meron kayo pinapasok na food, magkakaroon kayo ng bago vagal reflex. What is the purpose of which? Okay? It will just allow the stomach to relax para pwede kayong kumain ng hanggang gano'ng karami ang gusto niyo. And the capacity again is up to 1.5 liters. Tama? And then the pressure of the stomach is low until it reaches its limit. Ano mangyayari pag na-reach na ng stomach yung limit niya? Ano mangyayari? Kung na-reach na yung limit niya, kahit na rin kayo kain, what will happen? Ha? Magsusuka kayo, syempre. Alam mo, tatahi kayo. Hindi pa naman na-digest yun eh. So, ibabalik nyo. Okay? Because if it exceeds beyond 30 millimeters mercury, it's going to go up. Okay? So, ito yung food mixing and propulsion of the stomach. What happens is, yung contraction starts from the fundus down. So, makikita niyo yung constriction dito sa may bandang antral area. As the peristalsis goes down, palakas na palakas yung kanyang contraction. So, yung nasa taas, it just moves the food downwards. However, pagdating na dito sa may antral area, very strong na yan. So, it's going to squeeze the food through the pyloric sphincter. Mind you, the pyloric sphincter is very selective. Pag masyadong malaki, hindi niya papayagang mag-pass through. So, what will happen is, mag-move yan to the side. Okay? Tapos pag nag-contract yan, once na may lumabas na, at umabot na yung contraction sa may pylorus, magsa-shut yung pyloric sphincter. Wala nang lalabas na food. Nakita niyo may food na natira dun sa labas, may first part of duodenum, that's it for a while. Okay? If and when manapadami yung lumabas, ang mangyayari dyan, may mga reflexes that I will be discussing to prevent it from further dumping the food down to the duodenum. Because the gastric content is very acidic. Tama. Ano ang pH ng gastric contents? 1.5 to 2. Okay. Paano i-neutralize ng duodenum ang 1.5 to 2 pH? Paano? Ano ang mechanism ng duodenum to increase the pH of the gastric contents on the chyme? Bile, yes. Ano ba? Pancreatic juice, yes. Ano pa? Mucosal, yung production ng mucus gland, right? So yung tatlo. Okay, ngayon, Sir, total ikaw ang sumagot. Paano bababa ang pH dahil sa bile drainage? Ano ang component ng bile drainage? Awesome. Sino pa? Sabi ko sa inyo, walang maling sagot dito. Kahit na pangalan ng aso yung pangalan nyo sa sabihin, basta mag-isip kayo. Ayusin naman natin eh. I will not let you go home na mali yung information. So, ito, ganito ang kwento niyan. So, di ba ang hydrochloric acid is HCl? Tama. Now, ang Brunner's gland ng pancreas produces alkaline. Yes, bicarbonate. Tama. If the bicarbonate, meron din ang production ng bile. Aside from the pancreas, pati bile meron din. So, bicarbonate will react with the hydrochloric acid. So, ano mangyayari? Magkakaroon ka ng anong end product? Carbonic acid. Now, once na dissipate ang carbonic acid, what will happen? So, ang carbonic acid ngayon is going to be degraded into water and bicarb. Ang bicarb is alkaline o acidic? Ang galing napakaliit lang na duodenum. Ang part sa duodenum is, ano yung una? There are 4 parts, right? The first part is, assignment yan kaka-lecture lang ni Dr. Kasuga eh. Okay, yung paganyan, ano tawag mo dito? Ano tawag mo dito? Anong tawag mo yung dito at saka yung dito sa kulit? Napala kayo. Sabihin ko na Dr. Kasuga, hindi maalala. Okay, naintindihan nyo ha? So what happens is, yung short distance na yan ng duodenum, kaya yung neutralize yung gano'ng kabigat na acid. So papapansinin nyo, bihira ang ulcer sa may duodenum because of the function of this. Ano ngayong ulcer ang mayroong duodenal component? Anong type? Ano ba ito? Lecture ay nagkakapon mo lang nakalimutan na. Anong type? Tandaan nyo, panito. Parang cheat code. Pag sinabi mong type 2, dalawang ulcer agad. Duodenum at saka sa stomach. Okay? Ang type 1, nasa stomach. Ang type 2, stomach and duodenum. Kaya nga 2, dalawa. Type 3, nasaan? Wala ito, dinudunum mo na naman di type 3 pag may duodenum. Nasa stomach pa rin yung type 3. Okay? Type 4. Anong type ang NSAID? Ilan ba ang type ng ulcer? 1, 2, 3, 4 or 5? Pero NSAID related, it's the 5th. Okay? It involves the entire lining of the stomach. Okay? Mapalayo na tayo. So, Kai, food in the stomach mixed with gastric acid and appearance is murky, semi-fluid, or paste. Hunger prompts, hunger contractions. Ito yung, in layman terms, ito yung gutom kayo. Okay? Yung nararamdaman yung kumakala ng sikmura nyo, this is the hunger prompts. So, okay. So, usually associated with mild pain in the gastric area. Gastric contractions that occur in the stomach has been empty for several hours or more. So, ito yung mga in-between minutes. Ito yung nararamdaman nyo. Ito na actually yung cue if you are going to eat or not. Okay? So, successive contractions sometimes fuse to create a continuing tetanic contraction lasting for about 2 to 3 minutes. Okay? So, usually, it's strong sa mga young individuals, healthy individual with a high degree of intestinal tonus, and lower than normal blood sugar level. So, ang ginagawa ng katawan is it's going to force you to eat kasi discomfort. Stomach emptying, the role of pylorus, okay, it has great circular muscle thickness, it remains slightly tonically contracted. So, on resting phase, nakakontract lang siya. So, walang lumalabas. Okay? So, the degree of pyloric opening is dependent upon the nervous and hormonal influences. So, yung stomach, it empties depending upon the food that you're going to eat. So if you ate yung medyo fluid na food, chances are 1 to 2 hours nasa duodenum na. Ngayon pag kumain kayo ng carbohydrates, tapos vegetables, tapos sinabayan nyo ng tubig, so semi-solid siya, in 2 to 4 hours, nasa baba na, nasa duodenum na, ubus na. Now, if you eat food na yung mga fatty foods, at saka yung mga karne, pansinin nyo, ang tagal yung matunawan. Right? Kasi umaabot ng about 6 hours ang total emptying of the stomach. Pag karne at saka fat sa kinain nyo. Why? Oh, bakit? Eh, nahalo naman din sa tubig yun o sa naging kain din naman siya. Yes. Very good. Pero meron pa rin meron mas practical na dahilan. Because of the hormonal at saka the receptors, okay, will identify my fats at saka my protein doon. So that the body knows na matagal ma-digest ito. So it has to stay a little bit longer para ma-broken down hanggang makapas siya sa pylorus. Okay? Pinakamahirap na i-digest is fats and proteins. Also, yung emptying time depends upon the volume of the food you eat. Okay? Kumain ka ng isang garapon, compare doon sa isang kutsarita lang, mas mabilis matunawan at ma-empty ang stomach kasi kakaunti lang kinain ng isang kutsarita, isang platito. Okay? Ano pa ba? And of course, yung gastric motility. Yung inoperahan natin ng vagotomy, yung lecture ko kahapon, tama? You cut the vagus nerve which is responsible for giving impulses for the muscles to contract. So what happens is tatamarin yung stomach. So chances are yung motility ng stomach is impaired, so yung gastric emptying is quite longer. Gastric factors in the stomach emptying, ito nabanggit ko na. Food, volume, hormones, gastric produced by G cells, promotes hydrochloric production, enhance activity of the pyloric pump. Duodenal factors in the stomach emptying, we have the enterogastric reflex. Tandaan nyo ito, enterogastric reflex. Inhibits gastric emptying. It is mediated by 3 routes, okay? Directly from the duodenum to the stomach through enteric nervous system, extrinsic nerve that go through the brain, hindi ko natatanong ito, vagus nerve all the way to the brain stem. So ang purpose lang dito, bakit ko yung pinapresent dito is that there is such thing as enterogastric reflex. So ang ibig sabihin dyan, once na naramdaman ng yung mga factors, kasi sabi ko, mediated with 3 routes. Okay, once naramdaman that the food is quite difficult to digest, it will delay the emptying time of the stomach. Okay? Yan ang bottom line yan. Factors initiating enterogastric reflex, distension of the duodenum. Kagaya sabi ko kanina, movement of fluid from the stomach or the chyme from the stomach to the duodenum is limited by the pyloric sphincter. Dapat konti lang pumapasok. Kasi nga, the body needs to compensate dun sa acidity ng chyme. So pag binuhusan mo ng marami yan, ang chances are, magkakaroon ka ng too much irritation sa duodenum. And it will further strengthen yung enterogastric reflex. So sasabihin niya, sandali, pigilan mo muna, isara mo muna sphincter niya, huwag ka maglalabas. Hindi ko pa kaya, masyado pang acidic. Okay? So next is the presence of any irritation sa duodenal mucosa, which is the very low pH. Okay? And then acidity of the duodenal chyme. So it's the volume and the irritation. Also, irritation din to, yung osmolality ng chyme. Presence of certain breakdown products of chyme, especially proteins and fats. So factors affecting the rate of gastric evacuation. We have the type of food. Kaya sabi ko, proteins and fats are ang pinakamahirap na digest. So they empty emptying of the stomach is prolonged by this food. Gastric factors, within these, the greater the volume of gastric contents, the more rapidly it will be evacuated. So, kung masyadong marami ang kinain, mas mabilis ang emptying. Okay? So, consistency of food, more fluid ang kain, faster ang emptying. Pag mas solid, kailangan ma-liquefy before it empties. And then, of course, duodenal factors, duodenal distension and irritation of mucosa, and then the presence of fat in the duodenum. So, motility of the small intestine, propulsive, segmentation, migrating, and peristalsis, and peristaltic rush. Yung law of gut na minention ni Dr. kanina, narinig ko. Ang law of gut is that when there is a distension, okay, there's a food in the proximal area, it is going to stimulate peristalsis. Okay? So, propulsive contraction. What is propulsive contraction? Usual stimulus is distension. A contraction rate appears to the gut and moves forward, it organizes propulsion. So, eto, ang trabaho nito is it just moves the time papunta doon sa distal area ng small intestine. Okay? Propulsion. Okay. So, it is different at the propulsive segment. So, if the circular muscle contracts, and then there is a relaxation of the longitudinal muscle, ito yung nagtutulak. Now, yung receiving segment, the contraction of the longitudinal muscle, so mag-expand yan, tapos magre-relax naman yung circular muscle, so it will not impede the movement of the food distally. The mixing contraction is quite different from the propulsive peristalsis. Kasi ito naman, mixing, hahaluin niya. So the bulk of the time that is being pushed by the propulsive movement, this one is going to chop the kind into smaller bits para pumalo sa gastric at saka intestinal juices for it to be absorbed. Okay? So it mixes the time there. Segmentation contraction, of course, not greater than 12 times per minute. In distal ileum, 8 to 9 times per minute. Bakit mas matagal sa distal ileum compared sa proximal? Where is the absorption mostly occurring? Duodenum, jejunum, or ileum? Jejunum or ileum?
Iliw.
Iba. Assignment yan, ha? Sige, take note ko yan. Kasama yan sa assignment. Okay. Okay, the purpose of which is that mas mabagal ang contraction dito sa segmental mixing, segmentation mixing sa may distal area because it allows the villi to absorb it. Kung malikot ang small intestine, it will not allow the villi to absorb it. So, ang nangyayari, ilalabas mo lang yun na undigested and minimal ang absorption. Okay? Definitely not the duodenum. Duodenum is just basically a transit. Okay? Majority of the absorption is being brought by the jejunum and the ileum. So mixing contraction, it lasts for a fraction of a minute. Then, as one set of segmentation contraction relaxes, a new set begins. Okay? So talagang dudurugin niya yan para maliliit yung food na dumadaan sa small intestine. So the usual stimulus is distension. So it will only stop kung flattened na at saka bits and pieces na yung kain. So kung bulk pa rin yung kain, it will not stop contracting hanggang madurog na yun. So the significance, blend different intestinal juices with the time and bring product of digestion in contact with the absorptive surfaces. So, ito, peristalsis versus segmentation. So, nakikita nito self-explanatory. Yung peristalsis na movement is just going to push the bulk, the kind, to the distal intestine. However, the segmentation is, nakikita nyo, yung bulk ng kind na yun, dinudurog niya into small bits and pieces for it to be mixed with the intestinal at gastric juices. Now, let's go to migrating motor complex. I-simplify natin, ang migrating motor complex, MMC, ang purpose nito is to clean the intestine. Pag wala ng laman, in between feeding. Pag walang laman ng stomach, it will create burst of depolarization accompanied by peristaltic contractions. So yung mga natitirang hindi na-absorb, yung natitira, yung mga epithelial cells or even bacteria, ito yung itutulak na papunta sa large intestine. Okay? Kasi yun ang talagang pwesto ng mga yan. Tandaan nyo, small intestine is basically devoid of infection. Karamihan ng bacteria, E. coli, ano pa ba ang mga blood bacteria na nasa large intestine? Benteng. Ulo. Nag-graduate na kayo ng Benteng, nakalimutan na ninyo. E. coli, number 1. Klebsiella, ano pa? Wala. Naging kinikilit ako after pumasa ko ng board exam ng medicine. Kung ganyan din ang mangyayari. Anyway, majority of the microorganisms are located sa large intestine. What? Number 1, because of the acid, of course, the acid, it will sterilize. Eventually, habang nagpupunta yan sa distal, nagiging alkaline. Tama. Yung growth ng microorganism has something to do with the movement. More movement ang small intestine, so chances are that the lesser the probability of these microorganisms to multiply. Kasi tinatapon agad sa large intestine. Tama. Ngayon, large intestine naman, compared to the small intestine, mas mabagal gumalaw. Okay? It gives time for the stool to form. So, more time para sa mga microorganism, tapos may food doon, mas maraming chances na mag-proliferate ang microorganisms sa loob ng large intestine. Okay? Kaya nga ang tahi, pansinin ninyo, yun ang amoy, yun ang itsura niya. Yellowish, tama? Tapos, sa small intestine, pag nagkakay kayo ng kambing or ng baboy, makikita nyo, hindi parang tahi ang laman ng small intestine. Tama? Medtex na nag-duty, pansinin nyo kung minsan, may pasyente small intestinal obstruction na operahan, okay, nagkaroon ng kinking ng intestine, nagkaroon ng obstruction. Tapos naglagay tayo ng NGT. Yung nurses, ito yung palaging nurse na tinatawag ko. Pag nag-insert ka ng NGT, di ba sir? Sa mga intestinal obstruction, paglabas ng fluid doon sa NGT, ang tawag mo doon sa lumalabas ay thicaloid. Parang tayo na parang yung tayo mga baby, parang buris ng baby. Okay ba yung ilog? Buris, that's right. Yung stool ng mga baby na yellowish na parang may form na stool. Bakit? Kasi nagkaroon ng tayo mga microorganism na mag-proliferate sa small intestine because of the obstruction. So, isa sa mga trabaho din ng mga microorganism is to help you digest or break down the food that you have eaten. Maliwanag? So, migrating motor complex is for cleaning. Okay, travels along the whole length of the small intestine. After about 1 to 2 hours, then disappears and then a new wave of MCC starts. So, activity of MMC stops when you start eating. Okay? So, the function is to sweep materials, digested food, residues, dead mucosal cells, and bacteria into the colon. Okay, there is no MMC sa large intestine. Once na nagkaroon kayo ng MMC sa large intestine, ano mangyayari? Taki kayo. Tama. Kasi magkocontract yan ng malakas eh. Yun naman ang purpose niyan eh. To expel this fluid. So, merong contraction yan. It's not MMC sa large intestine. So, anti-peristalsis. So, there is also such thing as anti-peristalsis. So, this contraction is going against the flow of the peristalsis. Okay? So, there is a purpose for which, number 1, this is seen at the stomach and duodenum. Okay? Ano ang purpose nito? It allows time for the acidic chyme to be neutralized. So, pag naramdaman ng duodenum na masyadong marami ang nagdam, it is going to contract against doon sa contraction na gine-generate ngayon na peristalsis ni stomach. So maglalaban sila. Okay, hihintayin niya na umabot yung contraction ng stomach towards the pylorus para mag-shut down yung pylorus bago siya mag-release. It's a defense mechanism actually. Okay? So para hindi madagdagan magdadump ng acidic na kind into the duodenum. So it's also found in ileum and cecum. Okay? So this time it allows time for absorption. Pag naramdaman naman ni cecum na masyadong marami nagdadump and then fluid yung nadadump sa cecum, chances are it's going to contract. And the contraction of the cecum will close the ileocecal valve. So yung paglabas ng tayo from the ileum going to the cecum is going to be impeded because of this action. So peristaltic rush. Initiated by nervous reflexes due to irritation of the intestinal mucosa, the presence of infectious or toxic substances. So, ito na yung peristaltic movement ng mga pasyente na nag-LBM. Ito yung napapansin niyo yung pasyente talagang namimilipid sa sobrang sakit. Ito yun. So, ang function nito is to sweep the contents of the intestines into the colon, okay? Without absorption leading to diarrhea. So it aims to remove irritation from irritative kind or infected kind. Okay? It's basically a reflex brought about by autonomic nervous system, brainstem, and then myoteric plexus. So this is the summary. Propulsive, segmentation, regulating motor complex, contain peristalsis, and peristaltic rush. So, intestinal villi, anong naman namin nito? It is where absorption is
Adriel.
being done. Okay? It is stimulated by villikinin hormone. Villikinin hormone. So, facilitates absorption and lymph flow from the central lacteals into the lymphatic system. Now, let's go to ileocecal valve. So, an ileocecal valve is a valve between the ileum and the cecum. Okay? So this is the ileocecal valve. You can see yung parang link structure dito. Okay? Tapos dun sa mga mag-OB, parang ang itsura nito is parang yung cervix. Okay? Naka-protrude. So there is a reason why naka-protrude ang valve ng ileocecal. Pag napuno ang cecum, magkakaroon na naman ng position difference, yung congruency ng ileum sa cecum. Magkakaroon na naman ng acute angle. So, magkakaroon ng impediment of flow, okay, from the ileum to cecum, and at the same time, backflow of the food that entered the cecum going back to the ileum. So, feedback control of the ileocecal sphincter by reflex of colon. So, nabanggit ko na to kanina. One important thing is the irritation of the cecum delays emptying. So, this explains why patients suffering from acute appendicitis kung minsan hindi nag-move ng bowel or palaging busog or even nagpapahid. Because, you can see here, irritation can cause such intense spasm of the ileocecal sphincter and partial paralysis of the ileum. So ayaw gumalaw. Chances are, kung ang peristalsis is not moving and then the patient is drinking or eating, there is going to be a pressure build-up. So pag nagkaroon ng pressure build-up, eventually what will happen is the patient is going to vomit. Okay? So if you are able to control the infection, remove the appendix, and eventually the patient is going to recover, yung movement ng small intestine is going to be will continue. Ang mangyayari dyan, so yung movement ng food is going to be normal, tatayin yung pasyente. So pwede na siyang kumain usually 8 hours after operation. Okay? So sa hospital, pag na-operahan ng pasyente, ang complicated yung case, you can actually tell the patient they can eat 8 hours after the operation. Okay? Because according to research, regardless of the operation that was done to the patient, okay, peristalsis goes back within 8 hours. May mga exemptions, pero yun ang general na statement. So, control of intestinal motility. We have the hormonal factors and the neural factors. So, ito yung gastrin, sila cholecystokinin, okay? Serotonin, etc., etc. And then we have the neural factor. The vagal excitation increases intestinal and venous movements. And sympathetic excitation decreases intestinal and venous movements. Please try to read this. These things are must know. Okay? Yung mga nilagay ko dito, 90% are must know. Yung iba na nasa buwitin ninyo, nice to know na lang sa kabulog-bulog. So the principal function of the colon is number 1, absorption of water, electrolytes, and chyme. Yun sa first half. And then yung second, yung distal half naman is for the storage. Now, let me ask you, ano ang na-absorb sa proximal colon? Okay, do not get it wrong. Ha? Even sa distal colon, there is still absorption within that. Majority lang sa proximal, pero yung distal, very, very few na lang ang absorption. Okay. So what are being absorbed? Water, yes. Ano pa? Electrolytes. Anong electrolytes? Sodium. Pwede. Bicarbonate. Yes, no. Yes. Yes, totoo yun. Pati bicarbonate. May absorption ng bicarbonate sa large intestine. Short chain fatty acid. Totoo ba? Meron? Balikan yung libro ninyo ha? Meron. Okay? So, vitamins. Yes, no. Anong vitamins? Ano ang water soluble? Never mention anything that you cannot defend. Sabihin nila, anong water soluble vitamins? Yun ba yung sure ka? Adik na, adik. Okay. Adik ang fat soluble, di ba? Okay. So, vitamin K, meron. Biotin, vitamin B12. Okay. Actually, nung binasa ko itong nila-lecture ko, talaga, kako. Akala ko tubig lang talaga na-absorb. So, pare-pareho tayo natututo. Okay? And also gases. Okay? Small amount of gases are being absorbed dito sa large intestine. Next, mixing movement, haustrations. Nasa large intestine na tayo, na? So mixing movement, haustrations. Have you heard about this? What is haustration? Pabahay? Ano sumasagot mo? Haustration. Ano ba ang haustra? Anyone? Haustra. Haustrum. Ayun ang haustrum. I-define nyo na lang sa akin yung naka-parenthesis doon. Alam nyo na ibig sabihin ng haustrum. Yung segmented contraction ng large intestine. Okay? It's still peristalsis, pero may social lang silang pinungalan. Para lang maiba naman, kumbaga. Okay? So, the circular muscles, large circular constriction is about 1 inch of the muscle contracts. It can constrict lumen to occlusion. So, very powerful ang haustrations ng large intestine. So, talagang magdidikit talaga yung mucosa to mucosa. Walang matitira. Talagang itutulak niya palabas. Napansin niyo, sino na nag-LBM sa inyo dito tapos nakasakay kayo ng bus? Nasubukan na ninyo? Nagdadasal kayo, paliparin ng driver yung sasakyan para makaabot kayo sa bus stop. Sa sobrang lakas ng contraction ng large intestine, hindi mo mapipigilan yan. Sisigaw ka talaga ng dart dyan pag inabutan ka talaga sa daan. Okay? So, yung longitudinal muscle naman, pag nag-contract yan, okay, along with the circular muscle, yun ang pagkakaroon kayo ng auscultation. Okay? The longitudinal muscle, pag nag-contract, mag-o-open up. Samantalang yun naman circular muscle, pag nag-contract, it is going to constrict the lumen. So, mabubuo nyo ngayon yung parang longganisa. Okay? Constriction. Peak intensity is about 30 seconds, disappears during the next 60 seconds. Cecum and ascending provides a minor amount of forward propulsion to the colonic movements, and then fecal material in large intestine is slowly dug into and rolled over for the purpose of absorption. Okay? Fluid and dissolved substance are progressively absorbed until only 80% 80 to 200 ml of feces are expelled each day. Totoo ba ito? 80 to 200 lang. Yung iba, napupuno yung inidoro, di ba? Depende sa kinakain. Propulsive movement, mass movement. Okay, ang mass movement, ang layman's definition nito is that the large intestine is just trying to push everything down into the left side colon in preparation for defecation. Yan yung mass movement. Okay? It results from slow but persistent hostile contraction and 8 to 15 hours movement of semi-fluid kind from ileocecal through colon to become fecal quality. So, hindi totoo yung kakakain lang ngayon, tatain na, yun ini-expect nila yung itinain nila is yung kakakain nila. So, kapag makita mo dito, 8 to 15 hours movement, okay? From ileocecal to the colon. So, yung kinain mo today, itatain mo pala bukas, 24 hours. Okay? So, the reason why ang pasyente is pag kumain, tapos pagkatapos niya kumain, nag-complain na natatahi agad, it is because of the gastrocolic reflex. Okay? Tinanong niyo sa akin yung kahapon eh. For cecum to sigmoid, mass movement can take over propulsive contractions. So, 1 to 3 times per day. Tapos 15 minutes during the first hour after eating breakfast. So majority sa atin, after eating breakfast, natatay because of this. Okay? So it is also a habit. May mga pasyente na nagko-complain sa amin, inaabot ng 5 days, hindi nag-move ng bowel. Okay? So pagkausap mo, anong problema? Yes, ma'am. Hindi bang araw na po ba? Nakatakip kayo niya kahit may mask ka. Yes, totoo yun. Kasi fecaloid yung amoy ng breath. Oo. Normal yun sa mga mabawal ang movement ng bawal. Talagang may problema din sila sa smell ng breath.
Oh.
Contraction of about 30 seconds and then relaxation for about 2 to 3 minutes. Pansinin niyo yun, yung kaya sabi ko kanina, na nakasakay kayo sa bus, tapos natatayi kayo. Titigil yan, di ba? Pagpapili ka, sana magkakontract. Mamaya 3 minutes, 5 minutes, ayan na naman, tumatayo naman yung balahibo mo. Gusto mong sumigaw. Series of mass movement persists for 30 minutes, then it ceases and return about half a day. Okay? Initiation of mass movement by gastrocolic and duodenocolic reflex. Mass movement after meals is facilitated by gastrocolic and duodenocolic reflex. Okay. Reflexes results from distension of the stomach and duodenum. Okay. Reflexes are transmitted by way of autonomic nervous system, and irritation of colon can also initiate mass movement. Defecation. Nakapit tayo. Most of the time, the cecum, the rectum is empty. Okay, tandaan niyo yan. Most of the time, the rectum is empty. Once na nalagyan yan, ito yung pakiramdam na parang gusto mong bumalik na CR. Parang meron ka pang nararamdaman na hindi lumalabas. So, balik ka ng balik. Ito yung constipated, di ba? Kasi, a portion of the supposed to be the fecal material na dapat mong mailalabas, but since you are constipated, nakalagay din sa may rectum. So, ang rectum, as much as possible, it is empty. Now, if it is dilated, it's going to really convince you to go back sa CR. Okay? Mass movement force increases to rectum immediately triggers the desire to defecate. Ito yun. So, dribble of fecal matter through the anus is prevented by yung principle na palaging empty ang rectum. So, internal anal sphincter at saka external anal sphincter, ito yung pumipigil. Internal anal sphincter is involuntary. Nakakontract lang yan. Pag nakarelax, nakakontract lang. So, hindi pwede tatawa ka tapos matatayi ka na. Hindi, kasi nakakontract yung internal sphincter. Sino sa inyo dyan yung bumabahing lang nakakatayin na? Wala pa naman. So, ibig sabihin mo, bata pa kayo. Okay? So, ibig sabihin nyo, yung internal sphincter nyo is still intact. Okay? So, external anal sphincter, ito yung nakokontrol nyo. Tama? Yung feeling mo, nandyan ka sa labas, pero pinipigilan mo pa kasi wala ka pa sa gate ng bahay eh. Di ba? So, pagdating mo dun sa gate ng bahay, hindi mo pa ibababa yung brief mo, yung underwear mo, natatayi ka na. Right? So, voluntary ang external anal sphincter. Okay? So, defecation reflex, we have the intrinsic reflex and the parasympathetic defecation reflex. Okay? So, it's mediated by mesenteric plexus. The parasympathetic is mediated by the central segment of the spinal cord, S2 to S4. And then here is the sequence of defecation. So distension of the rectum, stimulation of the receptors in the rectum, and then there is a short intrinsic reflex. So stimulation of the mesenteric plexus, it relaxes the internal sphincter. So mag-open na in preparation for the movement of the feces down to the external sphincter. Okay, the intrinsic defecation reflex function by itself normally is relatively weak. So, hindi pwedeng matatali ang pasyente by way of intrinsic reflex. To be effective, to cause defecation, this is important. Usually, it is fortified by the parasympathetic defecation reflex. So, ito na yung long reflex na tinatawag or yung parasympathetic defecation reflex. Ito na yung may final say. Okay? Stimulation of parasympathetic motor neurons in spinal sacral cord increases peristalsis throughout the large intestine. Ito na yung talagang hindi mo mapipigilan. It will come out pag ito ang nag-trigger. Okay? Relaxation of internal anal sphincter will happen. And then stimulation of the somatic neuron, ito na yung contraction of the external. Somatic because it's already controllable. Okay? Meron yung, ano yung sinasabi na, buksan mo yung pintuan, nakabela na. Sabi, di ba? Anong gumagana doon? Anong gumagana doon? It's the somatic neurons. Kasi kahit na nakadilate ka sa internal sphincter, kaya mo pang pigilan kasi meron ka pang external sphincter. Okay?
Sige.
Pero pag tubig yan, kahit na gano'n ka determinado, lalabas na. Promise. Okay? If there is a voluntary relaxation of external sphincter, defecation occurs in normal situation. However, in diarrhea, patients suffering from diarrhea, there's no such thing as control. Talagang matatayin ka dyan. Okay, so eto, summary, please just read this. Tingnan niyo yung difference between the two. And then different situations for defecation. Ito, yung mga suitable. Ito, it's just nice to know. Ito yung mga situations na talagang pwede kang tumayo kasi control ang environment. Okay? Yung isa naman, not suitable. Okay? So, yung mga conditions na talagang kailangan mong pigilan. I won't be asking this. Okay, sa clinical correlation tayo. Appellation, explain ko yung kahapon. Okay? So diagnosis, esophageal manometry, barium swallow, endoscopy. Doon sa treatment, I only gave you Heller's myotomy. Pero meron pang iba. So pneumatic dilation, maglalagay siya, alam yung BP apparatus. Pag nilagay niya dito sa kamay, pag in-inflate ninyo, mag-inflate din, nararamdaman yung pressure, no? Ganon din yan. Ipapasok doon sa loob, tapos in between the stenotic area, papasok yung doon, yung pneumatic na device, and then ipapump nila sa labas. So it's going to be wedged in between the cardiac sphincter, okay? And then it's going to dilate the cardiac sphincter. The success rate is not really that good kasi once na nag-heal yung sugat, mapupunit yun eh. Once na nag-heal yung sugat, mag-stenosis na naman. Okay. So, Botox injection, hindi lang sa mukha nilalagay ang Botox. Pwede rin ito dito sa acylation. Gastroparesis, condition where the stomach takes too long to empty its contents into the small intestine. Weakness of non-functional stomach muscles due to damage of the vagus nerve. So, ito yung outcome ng operation usually sa vagotomy. That's why we do a pyloroplasty para lumaki ang opening ng pylorus so that kahit tamad si stomach na mag-contract, the contents of the stomach is still going to go down to the irritable bowel syndrome. Very common ito sa ibang bansa. Dito sa atin, not so common. It's a chronic gastrointestinal condition that affects the large intestine, causing abdominal pain, bloating, and changes in bowel habits. Does not cause permanent damage. So, pasumpong-sumpong lang ito. Diagnose based on symptoms. Okay? So, but before you diagnose it, kailangan i-exclude mo yung other causes. For example, i-colonoscopy mo, silipin mo may bukol ba, meron bang sugat, etc. etc. Pag wala, you can now diagnose a patient suffering from irritable bowel syndrome. Now, this one is almost being compared with irritable bowel syndrome, inflammatory bowel disease. The word says that it's inflammatory, so there is an inflammation coming or occurring inside the lumen of the large intestine. The two main types, palagi yung naririnig ito, Crohn's disease and the ulcerative colitis. Okay. Unlike the IBS, IBD causes physical damage to the intestines. Okay, can lead to complications like lesion and bowel obstruction. So there are two types. We have the Crohn's and then the ulcerative colitis, deal of this. And then ito yung difference nila. Okay. So features the Crohn's, autoimmune si IBD, gut-brain interaction si IBS. So damage, yes, kay IBD, no physical damage kay IBS. So sa context nito, mas pangit ang condition ni IBD. Okay? Here's France. No, saan yung picture? Okay. So, nerve cells, yung ganglion cells are missing. So, we have the mesenteric at saka Meissner's plexus ang damage dito. So eto, dun sa araw na yan, yung nasa baba, sigmoid colon, saan ang may Hirschsprung yan? Yung dilated o yung nakakontract? Yung constricted? Okay. Ito ba ang may Hirschsprung o ito? Ano ang normal dyan? Yung dilated o yung constricted? Dilated ang normal. Bakit? Tama. May obstruction, kaya siya na-dilate.
Dilate.
Tama. Bakit constricted yung one?
Yung 5.
Yung rectum. Kasi wala siyang nerve impulses na nakukuha para mag-peristalsis siya. So eventually, nagkakaroon yan ng atrophy. So once na nag-atrophy yan, hindi yan magdadilate, hindi yan mag-constrict. Constant lang nakagano. So what we do with this, depende sa doctor. Yung iba malakas ang loob, one stage operation na. Putulin namin pagdikitin. But most of the time, yung ginagawa namin dito is just we cut it, maglagay mo ng kami ng colostomy. We cut, pagdikitin, pero lagyan mo ng colostomy, it's either on the right or on the transverse colon. Kasi pag hindi mo nilagyan ng colostomy yan at nag-lit yung cut mo, yung anastomosis mo, kawawa yung bata. Okay, so usually it's two-stage repair. Prokinetic drugs, we have the dopamine, serotonin, motilin. Okay, ito yung binibigyan natin sa mga pasyente na hindi natutunawan. Prokinetic. Example, yung nakapanood niyo sa, naririnig niyo sa radio at sa TV, ano yung karamihan naman? Pag may dyspepsia, ano binibigay? Hindi ba kayo nanonood ng TV at nakikinig ng radyo? Yung dyspepsia, yung motilin, wala. Iba na yung ibang generation na ito. Palagi ko narinig sa radyo yun eh. Bali. So, metoclopramide or domperidone, this is one of the medications that we usually give kung a pasyente is suffering from indigestion, dyspepsia. Okay? So, ang purpose lang ito mga medications na to is it promotes motility. Yan ang bottom line. Okay? So, if you have medications that promotes motility, you also have medications that will stop the contraction of the intestines. We have the anticholinergic and then the smooth muscle relaxant. So, yung hyoscine and butyl-bromide, Buscopan. Nasubukan niyo na ba uminom nito? Pag nag-LVM, binibigyan kayo ng mga doctors nyo, Buscopan. So, it is an antispasmodic and it is considered as anticholinergic. Okay? Oh, natapos tayo. Uwi na tayo. I'll try to send you tonight itong one. Ito para makasama niyo. Please read on it, okay? Hanggang